Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Summit Sabers. Yeah, it's been a while since my last Saber build post, but it's took a lot of time to get to this point. This is my first NeoPixel lightsaber build. I don't have a name for it yet, but would love to hear some suggestions in the comments below. Without further ado, here it is. This is probably the shortest hilt build I've done to date. I think this is roughly about 8 inches long, so I had to do some serious building and engineering inside here to really get all of the bells and whistles inside, as you will see. I started out with this using the MHS builder on the custom saber shop. I pulled up some parts and just kind of mixed and matched until I got a look that I liked, and then added in the powder coat, as you see on the pommel, and then I've got a midsection adapter and the emitter. And then I uploaded that into my drawing software called Inkscape, and you can get that for free online. I'll put the link in the description. And then I just kind of drew in some pieces like these greeblies, which are socket cap screws. I drew in this shroud, which is some sleeve material I got from the custom saber shop. And then put in the knurled thumb screw here, and then also these tactile momentary switches on either side, the auxiliary and the ignition switch, as you'll see those in action soon. I also put the recharge port and the R.I.C.E port right here within the switch section, as well, to give a lot of room for some really cool stuff in here, as I'm going to show you guys in just a second. Oh, what else about this one? Also the inner chassis. Well, let's take a look at that. Let me put a blade in and show this off for you guys. Very snug fit. Alright. Pull the kill key here. There we go. Let me hit the lights here so you guys can really check that out. So I've really got a good deep red here. See if you can see that. I've got a green blaster block set up on here right now, and it will appear in various spots in the blade at random too, to give that realistic feel of the blaster block. Blade lockup, and the flash on clash. And I believe there's about 16 different color profiles on this. I've got a really deep red right now. Now let me hit the lights so you can really take that in. There's the red. Kind of a violet blue almost. I got a red lockup. Again, that green blaster block. A nice aqua blue. Deep purple. Another blue here, deep pink, got a light yellow, aqua again, very deep red here, and of course you gotta have a green in there in that mix. I got a gold amber blade. Another pink with a green lockup on that one. Another aqua blue with a red lockup, green blaster, and a deep orange. So all sorts of color mixes you can do there. Here is my latest build with the photon blade in. It's a thin-walled photon blade. I've got a thick-walled foam tube in it, and then 6 feet of cellophane wrap in addition. Turned out really great. Here's what it looks like with that photon blade in. So, yeah, insanely bright with this. Love how this turned out. So again, with that really strong blue light, that the wavelengths in that light work really well with this photon blade. That's what it's designed for, so you get the super bright green blade. So here it is, the blaster block. And it is just crazy blinding bright. I don't know if the camera does it justice. It looks pretty cool on camera here too, but yeah, it's just bright where it practically leaves an indent in your vision after it's turned off. So there it is with the photon blade. Oh, here's the flash shot. Forgot to do the flash and flash. So yeah, really sweet. Take a now let's take a look at the inside here. So this Saber contains the a Prism V 5.1 card. This is a 3D chassis, a chassis I 3D printed on my Monoprice Mini Select. Great little printer. I'll put a link in the description on that as well. And I designed it with a free software, 123D Design. Link in the description as well. I'll put that all there for you guys to feel free to download and use. Purchase your 3D printer. But yeah, I designed that there, and so I included my own speaker holder. It's kind of a clamshell style, and I put it together, fastened it together using Nerf screws. And as you can see here, I've got the power indicator LED little blink flashing right there. There it is. And what you can see here, when I fire this up, I've got some 4 little SMD LEDs that I tediously wired into the side here, and then set them in using some Gorilla Glue. Had I to do this again, I would go with what I came across in an old drone. Those little flashing colored lights are actually on a already PCB little bar, and there's some SMD LEDs, so I would have taken those and just double stick taped or somehow put a molding in this chassis to fit those in, and then it's already got a positive and negative on there, and I wouldn't have to deal with really tedious wires breaking or separating. But anyway, when I pull the kill key, that indicator light lights up. When I fire it up, we got a really cool flash pattern going on. And I did manage to fit in a little tiny crystal chamber right there. So we got that going on. And we've got the color change. Huh. And of course, don't forget the force push effect that I just initiated unintentionally. Really deep red there. But yeah, this one, because I've got it linked up the same way as my NeoPixel blade, the color mixing is exact. So what you see on the blade is what you get on the crystal chamber. And the Saber is a little sensitive because I had to turn the sensitivity way down, or actually, rather I should say, make the sensitivity really high because it's such a short hilt to initiate that swing motion with it. So I also put a little window here that easily accesses the SD card, so I can make any edits to the text file there. Power that down. So yeah, that's the inside of it, guys. And next, I'm going to put the blade back in, and just so you guys can check out that really cool, what's unique to this NeoPixel Saber, if you don't know already, is that really cool scrolling effect you get on the blade, that retraction and extension of the blade like you would see in any Star Wars movie. You really get that with this setup. So let's check that out. Okay guys, here's what the NeoPixel Saber can do. There you go. There's that scrolling effect you get, that classic extension of that blade and retraction of that blade. And the blaster block. Blade lockup. And flash on flash. And color change. Deep blue. And it just keeps going on and on. And you can do, again, 16 different color profiles via the R.I.C.E port. I've got a great tutorial with that. I think I've put that in links in the description in other videos in the past, but I'll do that again. RUBAT Genesis Custom Sabers does a great job, great tutorial on how to use that and do all of your customizing colors on the Saber, and that's where you plug it in right here through the R.I.C.E port. Goes directly through USB to your computer. So there's the NeoPixel, guys. Really love the way it turned out. Oh, and another thing with the blade. Word of caution, when you are making your first NeoPixel Saber, you will find that building the blade is a bit of a challenge. What I mean by that is a long strip of many different pixels. The density I recommend using is 144 pixels per meter to use that. But what happens is it depends on the diffusion you use in your blade. You can get what's called a corn cobbing effect. So you can see the little dots of the LEDs through your blade, which you don't want. That kind of takes away from the effect of realism from your Star Wars lightsaber blade. So you want to do a good job of really diffusing that light. As you can see on here, it's a really even lighting throughout the blade. Well, what I did is I used a Master Replicas Hasbro Master Replicas foam tube that's in the blades. That is so far the best blade tube diffuser you can use. Very dense, much like you'd see in a Nerf dart, a giant long Nerf dart inside here. I put the actually 2 layers of clear heat shrink around the pixel strip by recommendation of Space Windu. A shout out to him. So I put 2 layers of clear heat shrink around the pixel strips, and then I hit that with heat, shrunk it down, put that inside of the Master Replicas foam diffuser tube, and then I wrapped it up in about, well, however much cellophane I could get to fit in this blade, which came to roughly, I don't know, probably 8 to 10 feet of cellophane. Rolled that up in there. I cut a little piece of foam and wrapped the tip. Actually what I did is I took the tip of the actual blade tube, I drilled it out to fit 1 pixel in there. So it extended past the tube into this tip, 1 pixel. I wrapped that pixel in a little piece of foam and some hot glue to fit just inside that drill area in the tip to give it that enhanced brightness, to basically give it this nice solid blade look all the way through, even to the tip of the blade. So that's my recipe for this blade. Again, as you can see, turned out really great. One more time. It's really even through and through on this blade. Looks great. So that's my recipe for the pixel strip. One other detail, for those of you new to building this, pixel strips are back to back. So there's a strip of pixels on one side and a strip on the other side, and you wire it all in. But I'm sure you'll find that out in many tutorials. The manuals, does a great job in Collector Labs of explaining that in the user manuals on how to set that up properly for your NeoPixel blade. So there you have it. A couple other things in the construction of the Saber I forgot to mention to you guys is the grips. They have these on the custom Saber shop as well, but I believe they come in no smaller than, what was it, 3 or 4 inches. So obviously I had to cut these down. So basically I just made a clean flat cut on one end as I just kind of measured those out to fit in these grooved areas of this extension. And it turned out really nice with that rounded end and just a flat cut end. That way it was really nice and uniform all the way around. And then I actually took off the adhesive and I just used Gorilla Glue and filled in there, and just with some light pressure sealed that in, and that did what I needed. Did a great job just really securing those grips to the grooves there. One other area, I also got some the knurling service there. You can see this diamond knurling on the center chassis, the center 1/4 inch adapter, a double mill adapter here. And you'll notice it also has this nice dull finish. Well, I have a rock tumbler, and I just use the pyramid media, tumbling media, and just put those parts in my rock tumbler and ran those for about 24 hours, and it gives it this nice dulled finish to it. So those are some other things I did to really enhance the unique look of the Saber. I also did the media tumbling on the nice classic salt and pepper shaker pommel vent, and went with the classic D-ring clip, and I have that D-ring belt clip as well. So I wanted to really keep things very classic in the approach to making this Saber. So once again, guys, here's my first of probably a series of another 2 or 3 pixel blade builds. I got at least one more coming up here that I'm excited to show you guys, but this is my first one. Again, feel free to offer some suggestions for a name for this lightsaber. Love the way it turned out. Very unique, rather Yoda-esque, if you will, in its design. I'm not a big guy, 5'2", so I'm a big fan of Yoda. So that's really a part of what inspired me to make this particular design, and the upcoming one. It's going to kind of have those Yoda themes to it as well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys later.